Every year, we beg the management and the board to clean our property at springtime. Every single year, we have to beg. Let's focus on the last 2 years. We have to beg Integrity Property Management Company and the board to do a spring tidy up. And that is why owners cannot justify paying Integrity Property Management Company over $100,000 per year to do what? Why are we paying you guys over $100,000? Look at the pool area. Whose job is it? It used to be the superintendent's job. So if it's not the superintendent's job, whose job is it? Then you need to hire someone. But this is unacceptable. We're supposed to be a condominium. We have rental properties in the area, much better managed by people who care. It starts with care. Basic principle of management 101. And if you don't care about your job, if you don't care about the people who work so hard to pay you, this is the result every single year. Check the minutes. Check your records. I'm not going to waste time attaching any evidence. I will send you this video. And let me be very clear about this one. Larry Dinelli, you recall the incident when, in order to retrieve a ball, 3 youths jumped the fence. Mr. Dinelli, I'm sure you remember that one. I'm sure everyone on the board is familiar with that case. Well, let me say this. When the pool was opened, once in a while, we have especially young people jumping the fence at night to go for a swim. So whether it's retrieving a ball or going for a swim when it was open, youths jump fence without thinking. And as you are aware, Mr. Dinelli, Kirk Segura, and those who were on the board at that time, I mentioned the drowning that happened on this side. I was on my balcony when a young boy fell in the pool. It was filled within about 3 days, okay? So I'm not going to repeat that. Mr. Dinelli and Mr. Segura, Toronto says to every owner for houses, for buildings, you cannot have standing water. What about that, Mr. Dinelli, you don't understand? And Mr. Segura, you were with us on Owners Action Committee. You know about that. You were copied on each and every email before you got on the board. And don't forget, I, Mike McKenzie, contribute with you with your vote count getting on the board. Okay? You cannot have standing water breeding mosquitoes. So my question for Mr. Dinelli is a very straightforward question. There was an urgency, especially when we looked at the possibility. The pool cover was removed, as you're well aware, as you ought to remember, to retrieve the ball. And since this pool was closed, I believe well over 10 years ago, the water has never been changed. So we're looking at black, stagnant water. I remember seeing it from my balcony. The pool cover is off and the water just looks black. So Mr. Dinelli, let me be very clear to you. Extremely clear, Mr. Dinelli. Had one of those youths jumped into that water and his friends couldn't swim, or became a bit squeamish, jumping into septic water, 10-year water, blackish water, that kid would have drowned. And that is what we discussed in terms of context. So you, Mr. Dinelli, tried to get a technician and you couldn't. So I did a bit of networking, and I remember the day I got to the office to tell Sajit, I believe, that I found someone. My interpretation of what you did was you come at me. I cannot make a decision, Mr. Dinelli. I don't approve funding. All I was doing in the office is to say, I found someone and the company just want to find out before coming, what is the context? What do they have to do? And any respectful president of a company would have listened, because you the day before, Mr. Dinelli, said you're having a difficulty finding someone. It was urgent for me as a safety specialist, as a safety advocate, as a long-term resident of Scarborough Village, a member of safety committee. So I had a fiduciary duty to say, let's fix it. So my question for you, Mr. Dinelli, who stopped you from bringing in someone? Because let's agree, you did your search to bring in someone and you've done nothing since that time. Now look at the pool cover. My advice to this board, get someone in ASAP. Check your corporation records as far as standing water specific to this pool area. I don't have to say anything else. I will not live on a property that breeds mosquito. Okay? And that is why the city of Toronto is concerned. And then the garbage in and around the pool, whose job is it? Whose job is it? I'm now going to go to the parking lot. The landscaping contract, the flat rate contract, the cheapest way to go contract is basically grass cutting, controlling weed. So my question for you, Mr. Dinelli and Kirk Segura, whose job is it, especially springtime, when it is standard practice in condominiums to paint the curbs and to tidy up the parking lot? Charlie is not capable of patching these holes properly. He admits it. So it's an open secret. But for him to keep his job, he has to follow direction to keep his job. I would not want to be in a situation where I don't have the skill or the training to fill gaps and to be told you need to do it. It's not a good position. And to some degree, when we look at bullying and intimidation and stuff, there are various interpretations. Let me go to the curb again. Mr. Dinelli and Mr. Segura, whose job is it to move the dirt, the bottle caps, the pieces of debris that usually spreads in and around the parking lot? Whose job is it? Whose job is it? I will tell you straight. When the landscaping company showed up, the contract says from May 1st, I was on my balcony, so I know exactly. Look at this.
What's that?
Stone in the parking lot. You guys don't check anything. You don't move anything. I know what they did. I'll tell you straight. They did not clean the inside of the curb. I can tell you that. I noticed there has been some movement. I did mention to the new manager that for me this is a priority. To clean the pool area, get rid of the septic water, standing water, and clean this parking lot. Okay? That is the priority right now. And that is the priority of the Owners Action Committee, which you guys never acknowledge, never respect, act as if we do not exist. Well, let me remind you, Mr. Dinelli and Mr. Segura, our membership is past 60 owners. I made a point after the AGM. I did not try to be on any board. That was not my priority. And that I called some people and collected their proxies. I would have been on the board. And we know who would not be on the board, and that's you, Mr. Segura. You would not be on the board. So consider yourself privileged to still remain on the board. Forget the personal bias, and which has been documented so many instances when you have compromised my customer service. Okay? And how many meetings I've been? 3 meetings. I've recorded the AGM and I've documented your tactics during the meeting, which I will deal with on the separate cover, because you need to stop. You need to stop. I have enough evidence on you, but one final warning, I'm going to put everything together to give you the proof, and you need to stop. I know you guys don't care about lawsuits and human rights and stuff like that. I'm telling you guys, you need to stop. Whose job is this? I will remind you, Kirk, when you were on the board, this was the job of our superintendent. And when I was on the board, we did not micromanage staff. I've been in the building since 1986, and every responsible property management company, they know when it's springtime, standard practice, especially condominium standard, to do a cleanup. This area sinks. This area sinks, you guys are well aware. The last time it was fixed properly was during my tenure as president. It literally rubs on the bottom of cars which are low. Some of you may drive SUV, but it is a problem exiting the building. It has been documented. I am not going to pull that evidence. Whose job is it? Whose job is it to repair stuff like this? Whose job is it? One more time, whose job is it, especially springtime, to clean this parking lot? And just in case you guys have not noticed, the curb is falling over. The curb is falling over. And in a condominium to standard, you bring a contractor in and you fix it so it lasts another 20 years, whatever. I will be critically examining the reserve fund study to see what exactly was looked at and what was recommended. Because nothing makes sense as far as preventative maintenance, regular maintenance in this building. Nothing is making sense. And I joined the owners in this building with a very basic question. When we pay our condominium fees, where is our money going? You're certainly not maintaining the parking lot. You're certainly not keeping things clean. And as far as safety, there are outstanding breaches of property standard, lighting issues, and of course we know about the housekeeping in the hallways, okay? Again, whose job is it? I'm walking on asphalt debris. Whose job is it? Whose job is it? This is what I see from my balcony on the 18th floor. Another pothole right here, uneven pavement. We got hundreds of parents and children going to the school, taking a shortcut through this parking lot. So my question again, whose job is it? From cigarette butts to broken asphalt, potholes, whose job is it? So the priority right now, to recap, Mr. Dinelli and Mr. Segura, you will remove the standing water. You're breaching the City of Toronto protocol on standing water and the breeding of mosquitoes. On my owner's chat, I mentioned the number of mosquitoes that were on our screen by the window in the living room and by the balcony screen because they needed to be warmer. So I've seen already dozens of mosquitoes in the area. I explained to the chat that is the female mosquito that is the dangerous one, right? Not the male, stuff like that, right? So we've dealt with the issue of mosquito before, okay? We've dealt with that issue. I believe school might be over. We see these mothers taking the shortcut because we allow them to through our property. But they're not safe because you guys don't fill the potholes. So I'm just saying to all these mothers, be careful when you push, be very careful. Watch for potholes. Don't slip and fall, okay? So many people from the neighborhood, because we allow it. I, Mike McKenzie, when I became president, consulted the bylaw, the legal stuff. And although we could close this gate, we said, no, we're not going to close the gate. We're going to allow the people to take a shortcut because it's convenient for them. Okay? And I will deal with having a door by the side for the residents by separate cover. I'm going to ask this question. And it's going to sound personal, and it is. Who do you think you guys are other than servants? Not in a docile way. Directors are volunteering to serve the residents and the owners in the building. That's why you volunteer. And the job of a management company, unlike Mr. Dinelli's position that he follows direction, yes, of course you don't authorize spending. But if you, Mr. Dinelli, cannot be self-managed, the board should not have to get involved with this. I tell you one thing, if I was on the board, you'd be called into a board meeting to explain yourself because you're being paid enough to have some standards, to have some direction to the staff. If whoever is responsible for cleaning this parking lot is not self-managed, then the person needs training. It shouldn't be, oh, by the way, we need for you to clean the parking lot next week. No, we're paying good money to everyone in this building. We never had to do that in the past. As soon as spring comes especially, you know there's a lot of winter debris. And they get to make the building looks renew, painting curves, whatever. Now look at this. Is the job done, Mr. Dinelli? Is the job done, Mr. Segura? And if the job is done, why are these piles of mud and dirt here? Why? Who was responsible for moving them? Was it the contractor who was paid to put in the bollards, the yellow bollards, or the fence? Who is responsible for moving this dirt? Because you all have no standards. Every time it rains or snow intensely, the dirt comes right in the parking lot. No, it's unacceptable. We're not begging you. We're not begging you to do your job. It's a demand to do what you're being paid to do and being respectful. You're being paid. And we don't see why we should be paying you $100,000, including some incidentals like starter certificate. Why are we paying this company over $100,000 when the evidence shows it's the least performing company since I've been in the building since 1986. So Jeet was a messenger in the office, capable, but couldn't get anything done. The evidence suggests he was a servant in many instances when his actions impacted me in a personal manner, in a service manner, but I will deal with that under separate cover. I will deal with that. Unacceptable. So to members of the Owners Action Committee, I have done my part to highlight what these people need to do. They need to stop taking us for granted. We pay enough to at least have a tidy pool deck. We pay enough. A tidy parking lot, a parking lot that is safe. We pay more than enough.